Hi there, my name's Justin, and I have a lot of makeup. I like a lot of makeup. I like to play with makeup. Makeup is really fun, so I thought that I would kind of just make some videos showing people stuff that I like to do and have fun. So today I thought I would do kind of like my everyday go-to face, like full face, one brand. I love those kind of videos. I love watching them, so I'm like, okay, what parts work, what parts don't? And I have a lot of it, so I'm like, let's show the people what we got. I've been working in makeup for like, I don't know, 3 years now. I've been doing makeup for 5. I work as a Clinique Counter Manager at an Ulta, so I actually have a lot of experience with a lot of different makeup. They carry so much. And because of the fact that I am a counter manager, I have the most of Clinique. I have a lot of makeup. I say I'm a makeup enthusiast because it's another good word for makeup hoarder, because I have a lot. So today we're going to be doing a full face Clinique. I like a lot of their stuff. I wear a lot of it for work, and so I'm essentially going to just do like an everyday what I wear to work face. Simple, but looks really natural. Alright, so the first thing I have to do is take off my glasses because I'm very blind. I can't see my image right now. I am half blind. So I'm going to be using this mirror here. I don't know if you guys can see it in frame, but it is right here. It's a magnified mirror, so I can really see what I'm doing. Also, I have a speech impediment, and I also have a stutter. I'm also very, very gay, so I sound like a lot, but it's not just because I'm gay. Let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I like to do is I like to use primer. I like to use this primer, actually, believe it or not, I actually really like this primer because it has a nice, like, smoothing, hydrating formula, and I feel like it has just a little bit of that, like, silicone slip that I like. It's not too much, like, that's all I'll use, and I'm just going to put it right in here first, put it in the T-zone. And then I'm just going to rub it in. I like to use my hands for this step because it's good to be in touch with your skin. There's not a color correcting primer, it just has a lot of blur and moisture, so my skin is going to look really soft. So just bring it all the way down. There we go. Next is going to be foundation. I like to use the Even Better foundation by Clinique because it's medium coverage, it's buildable, it has a little bit of SPF, but it doesn't really have any splash pad, and it has antioxidants, vitamin C, all that good stuff, but it just looks like skin. I'm going to use my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge because I love the flat side, I love the pointed side, I love that there's low cost, and it gives me really good application. So I'm going to use color right in the middle here. This is actually one of my best shade matches because I have a hard time finding a shade match with my undertone. I'm very neutral, and a lot of brands don't really do neutral, they do warm and cool. So this one is very neutral without being too heavy. We're gonna do this on the neck too, all the way down. Go ahead and do this everywhere. I like to do the eyes too. The main reason I like to do the eyes is because you want everything to look like it belongs on the same face. And if you have the same, colors everywhere, it kind of melts into each other a little bit more. And don't worry if you don't get under the eye too much. We are gonna go in with some concealer and really fix it up. I also always do my neck because I have a lot of razor burn. I like to make sure it doesn't do that. Now we're going to use the Perfecting by Clinique. This is the shade Linen. This is a very light shade. I should use it for the under eye, and I really like this formula because it's full coverage, but it's super creamy and very lightweight. So I'm going to do a little bit under the eyes, a little bit on the forehead and the nose, and then under the nostrils and above the lip. I do that because this area gets really red, this area has dark circles, and this area tends to settle. So by doing that, I'm getting extra coverage and texture where I want it. Now we're going to do the under eye. And this is what I said, don't worry about the under eye too much because we're just going to go in and do it. Right. Now the nose, I like to start from the top all the way down because you want to have a nice gradient down the nose as well. And if you bring it on the brow bone. Now I don't have eyebrows. I lost them in a horrifying accident called, I shaved them off. Just go around them. And again, I'm bringing that up on the lid. And this acts as like an eye primer too. I do like to use an eye primer a lot of times if I'm doing a lot of color or a lot of like intensity because of the fact that it will really help things pop. But since I'm going very natural today, we're going to keep it subtle. And that's when I use this. This is my absolute favorite product. This is the Chubby Stitch Sculpting Contour by Clinique. It's a cream contour, but the tone of it, it's so nice. It almost looks like a bronzer. So I'm going to start by going under my bone here. Just kind of like, there we go. Don't go too far because you're going to blend it out. So it's going to move. There we go. I like to stop it kind of like on the outside of the eye a little bit. That's kind of a good place to stop. I do a little bit on the forehead as well, going up. This is it matches the face back. So your face looks more like tight and taut and like angular. A little bit right on the nose here. The size of the nose helps it slim there. It also helps your eyes look more full and big. And then do a little bit under the lips, a little bit above the lips too, almost like make a heart shape. See that? Helps a lot. And then we're gonna do a little bit on the chin, a little bit on the chin. I don't do too much on the chin because that can get easily over contoured, but I am going to use that. I'm gonna use brush. I'm gonna use a brush for this step because with cream, I want to move it. I want to blend it out. I'm not trying to like keep the coverage there. If I were to do that and I want something more intense, I would bounce it with a sponge as opposed to a brush. So then we're going to take this and do kind of like patting, feathering motions. Notice how I'm not just going in the same area. So then we're going to blend up this side as well. And for this, I like to do circular motion. And I work it in towards the hair because it's gonna look like it melts into your skin more. See that? Same thing on the other side. And we're gonna go up the temple and then into the hairline here. I'm gonna connect it, and I call this the beige rainbow because you're just gonna do like this back and forth so your forehead looks like it has like this really pop here. That makes your forehead look more shapely. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We do on the other side of this. We're gonna pull it forward. And we are doing circular motions to help with that. And then we're gonna connect it here. By connecting it, it helps it look natural. Again, the neck. Down. Alright, you saw that, the neck, and then the lips. For this one, it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna go dab it, because I want to just blend it in right there. You can do this with the sponge too. But this just helps kind of like make your lips look more full. And then now for the nose. So, I didn't blend that very well, did I? To never over blend. You can blend something out to be almost invisible, but that's not over blending. So for this, we're gonna start here and then flick it up into the eyebrow. Like to this is the orbital bone here. We're gonna use that when we do our eyes. So I flick it into that, and then I flick it down the side of the nose. And when I'm doing this, I'm kind of grabbing it from the side and then pushing away from it onto the other side of the nose, and this helps give it that good like angle. See what I mean? Now we do the same thing on the other side. Pop this over this way, do the orbital bone, and then we're gonna do it again this side. Alright, then we're done. Now we're gonna set with powder. I'm going to use the Transparency Neutral shade in the loose blended face powder and brush. And for this one, I like to use just a small little tapered brush with it. This one here works great because it's got this nice sort of flat bit, but it has a nice point to it. So that's good because it helps with the under eye a lot. You don't want your under eye to be creased, so I always like to take a little bit. Sponge, cap it out right before you blend it. Anywhere you're gonna set, make sure you blend out any creases before you do that, because otherwise you're just gonna set a crease. So we're gonna pop this right in here, and now we're gonna tap. Think tapping. Like Alright, there we go. Same thing on this side. And we're going not only here, we're going down, and then we're going up, almost like a check mark. We want to give the face a lot of shape and angularity. Now we're going to do the same thing with the nose area we did. So we're going to do it in the middle here, and blend it down. A little bit right here, a little bit right here. There we go. And then we're going to take whatever's left on the brush here. After we do a little bit more there, we're going to take it right under the contour, the bronzer. Define that. Now the reason we did cream is because it was very natural. And just kind of give it a little bit more emphasis. That was the hard part. The easy part, grab your big fluffy brush, dip into your powder, dust off your excess. See? And then you just swirl and buff. Buff and swirl, ladies. God, who's heard that at a Bare Minerals counter in their life? Alright, so now that we've got powder on, I am going to take a little bit more of that one brush. Take whatever extra powder I can, put it right under the eye. And the reason for this is because I'm going to do my eyes, and I like to have that as a blanket in case I fall out. Alright, now that we're moving on to eyes, I really don't have a lot of eye stuff for Clinique because their shadows are very, like, no makeup, very soft. I like to do something a little bit more because I like to showcase other brands as well when I'm at work. So I'm going to use my Clinique bronzer as my transition shade, and then from there we're going to go in with the Naked Heat palette. So I'm going to put this right in the crease here. You can find your crease by following your orbital bone, that same bone we did when we contoured. That one, and you just kind of follow that little pocket. There you go. And then again, this is because it's the bronzer, it's going to make all the colors look like they belong in the same family. And then same thing on the other side. I like to start on the outside, because that's where you want it the darkest, and then work inward. And then from there, you can kind of like buff it into right, I like to bring it down the nose too, because then we're fortifying that contour. Just a little bit here, a little bit there, yada yada. And I think that's it for the transition shade. I am going to put a little bit on the outer corner here, a little bit under the eye. Oh, if you want a thickening look that's like no effort, take your bronzer, put it on your eye like this normally, and then bring it a little bit under your eye. It frames your eyes so well. Adds a little bit of shadow so that way your eyes look like they're popping out more. It's great. So now that we've done that, I'm going to move on to the Naked Heat palette. This is a classic. A lot of people have this one. It's been out for a while. I like it because it's all warm tones, but it is orangey warm tones, but they're not too orange. So it's not like, oh my god, I'm wearing orange eyeshadow. It's like, I'm wearing a brown, but it's got an orange tint. So we started with our bronzer. We're gonna go in with the shade He Devil right here. Ignore that. Dip into that. Dust off your excess. Always do that. That's how you get fallout. And we're gonna put that right in the crease here. Now we're gonna really focus this on the outer edge. Really work it in to where that bronzer is. And we're actually gonna bring it a little bit further down too. Really hugging where that crease is on the eye, the lid. And then bring it down a little bit on the lid. And then all this does is it adds like a nice warmth to it without being too intense. And we're gonna, again, do the same thing on the other side. And what this does is it really frames your eye properly, so that way your lid has a good like stopping point. And then when the shimmer it goes on, so we're gonna put shimmer on the lid. I love shimmer on the lid. Once we do that, we're gonna look very popped. And I like to take with the brush, whatever's left on it, and not grab anything else, and just start going out this way, even into where you put the contour. Because again, it makes it look a lot more natural, and like everything blends into each other. All the tones are the same. The tones and the hue. Now, I have what I call caveman forehead. So I have a really prominent brow bone. I like to put my shadow over my brow bone to help sell the fact that it's a little bit more soft. There we go. There we go. Okay. See, that's super easy. And because I'm using something that's really orange, it makes the blue in my eyes pop because they're complementary colors. That's why I like to do that. Next, we're gonna grab a slightly darker shade. I'm gonna use the shade and Caliente. We're gonna use Caliente. Same brush, and we're just gonna pop that right on the outer corner here. Keep it on like the outer half of the lid, and then just work it into the crease. Okay, right there, and then right into that. Okay, there we go. Super easy. Next, we're gonna do the shimmer. Now for shimmer, it's pretty simple. I like to use something very light, very natural. There's my brush. We're gonna use the brush. I'm gonna grab a shimmer. I think I'm gonna go for Lumber. lumber, is that how you say that? And grab it on the flat brush. And then once you have it there, you're gonna just pop it right on the lid. And you put this over the entire lid. You do not just put it in the middle. You do not just put it on the inner corner. You put it over the entire lid, even over the dark stuff. Because by layering, that's how you get a good blend. So you can't tell where something is from. And because it's really soft, this one is more of a sheer shimmer, which is why I like it, because it adds a tone without being too like bright of a color, and it also adds a lot of reflex, but in a natural way. There we go. Alright, a little more right here, just because I said so. Great. Now, last thing I'm going to do is actually go in with the Clinique shadow. Again, bring it back to Clinique. I'm going to use this one here. This is called Daybreak. And this is just a single shadow. I'm going to use that same brush, grab it and pop it right on the middle of that. And what this does is it really draws the emphasis and the attention right on the middle of the eye and making it pop. Again, I wear glasses, so I'm doing this because I really want my eyes to pop through the glasses. I'm also going to put it right in the inner corner here because it has such a prominent brow bone. If I don't highlight there, there's a shadow. And I want my eyes to look a lot more open and awake. So by putting that there, you do that. And then I'm actually going to take the same brush, same shimmer shadow, and highlight my nose quick. We're going to do a little bit right on the tip here. And a little bit on the nose. Just a little bit. There we go. See, it's more of a subtle highlight. I don't like anything too big. Great. That's it for eyes. Now we're going to do eyebrows. So for eyebrows, I usually use my Anastasia Brow Wiz to get a good shape, and then I will fill it in with a pomade or a powder, something like that. But I usually do brow mapping. Brow mapping is a technique where you take your points of your eye and figure out your shape, usually by doing the side of your nose here, then doing the side of the nose in the middle of the eye to get your arch, and the side of the nose in the end of your eye to do your tail. I've been doing it for so long that I can just kind of have a good idea of what stuff is based on muscle memory and geometry and all that fun stuff we pretend we don't use outside of school. This is the boring part. I'm gonna, you can see the shape is starting to take up. I'm gonna finish this off camera because, in my opinion, brows are boring. So I'm gonna do my shape and then I'm gonna do, bring you back to show you what I filled them in with, and then we're gonna be done. Alright, so here is the shape I did with the pencil. I just used the pencil, that's it. Now I'm going to fill it in, and for that I'm actually going to be using the Dip Brow in shade Medium Brown by Anastasia to finish the brows. And now for my brows, I like to do the darkest line on the bottom and then work up, because I feel like it adds more of a natural shadow to the brow. And the trick with Dip Brow, a lot of people don't realize this, is you have to use it in short little strokes, like a feathering motion, to look like hair. If you do big blocky brows, you're using way too much that have a big chunk on it. So there we go, do the bottom line first, and then redefine that arch, and then build it up. And again, short little strokes, feathery motion, nothing too harsh. I'm glad you guys can't see inside my Dip Brow because it's disgusting. I've like chopped it up and like got it really soft, so it looks like it's ridiculous. I also like the fact that these are matte, which means they take down a lot of shine that your skin naturally gives when you're drawing on areas that don't have hair. So it just looks very soft. You don't see that shine of the skin or like a powder. Some powders are really good about being matte, others are not. Again, you've probably heard this a million times. Sisters, not twins. I'm a firm believer in that, mainly because my eyes are two different shapes. This one's lower, so I try to make them too even. I spend way too much time and go insane. I'm just using the spoolie at the end of this. You can use the same one from your brow pencil and just soften the front of the brow. It gives it more of a soft feather effect. There we go. That's a brow. See? Not super bad. Now, In order to finish the brow, we're going to go back in with that highlight shade, the Daybreak, and we're going to use the same brush. Grab a little bit right on the end and right under the arch. Pop it right there and work your way out of the brow. It really adds a big lift, and it makes the brow look a lot more finished and lifted. See? Stunning. Alright, next we're going to do liner and mascara. For liner, I always use the Pretty Easy, I always use the Pretty Easy Liquid Eyelining Pen by Clinique because it's my favorite. It's a brush tip, not a felt tip, so you get really clean lines with it. Ooh, don't be jumping that part. And I like to do my eyeliner a little bit different. I'm going to go from the outer edge of my eye, you know that line that we followed when we did our brow mapping? That one. Follow that line and go straight out. See that? Don't mind the dot there, we'll clean that up in a second. I like to do a wing because it makes my eyes look bigger. I like to do them a little bit more wide because it makes my face more round. My face is very long, so I'm trying to like balance it out. And after I've done my guideline, that's what I call this, I go from the inner corner and I start to shape that line. Go from the back side and do it that way. You can't see this at all, can you? Good, that means I'll get this one looking good, and then you'll see the bad one. And then from there, you can kind of see that, we're going to bring this corner to this corner and make it look more even. And this is where you can go play with your thickness. You want a thin, little, soft, fluttery wing. Like that. Or do you want a thicker wing? Like I always want a thicker wing. There we go. See that? That's the wing. And I like to do it that way because then when your eye is open and when your eye is closed, it still looks good. So we're able to clean that up. Okay, now it's time for this eye. Same kind of thing. Start with the inner corner, work your way out. Go, and then from there, go from this end and connect. Alright, that's it for the wing. Now when it comes to the eye line itself, I do like to use the Intense Midnight. It's like a blue-black in my waterline on the top, because that helps the lashes look more full, and it also makes my eyes look whiter. The blue brings out the blue tones and the white. Oh, hello. I messed that up. That's great. Okay, there's that. Now, mascara. And I keep it really simple. I don't really do the bottom because I find the bottom to be a little bit intense. So, mascara, I'm going to use the High Impact by Clinique. This is my go-to mascara. It's very nice and pretty. It helps separate, add a little bit of volume, but it's not too intense. There we go. And keep in mind, if my eyeliner and my eyes look a little bit bold, glasses are gonna hide, like take a lot of it down. So I'm like fighting a losing battle there. Fingers crossed I get contacts soon, because that would be the bee's knees. Yes, I talk like I'm from the 20s sometimes. Do you have a problem with that? Oh, shoot. Ugh. Well, I can show you how to take care of that if you don't know how. Alright, cool. Who hasn't done that? Awesome. Awesome sauce. We're gonna let that dry. Because when we let it dry, we can scratch it off with a spoolie. But that's it for the eyes. That's everything. Alright, we are going to finish the face. Face, beauty face. Adi face. Okay, there you that. I'm going to use my All Glow palette because it's a holiday palette that has all products they usually carry. This is a bronzer that I used earlier, blush, highlight, and setting powder. This is more of like a soft diffusing powder than anything. I'm feeling very glowy today, so we're going to use a little bit of that. I'll show you how to layer it. Looks stunning. You can use that with any sort of soft diffusing powder. But first thing I'm going to do is take any sort of hydrating spray. I'm going going to use the MAC Fix Plus because I like this one. It's very soft, very refreshing. Get one that's alcohol free because what you're going to want to do is you want to reactivate the powder so it melts into the skin and everything looks very natural. There we go. Just a soft spray, nothing too crazy. And then we're good to go. So now we're going to do bronzer. For bronzing, I like to use this brush here. It's got some good fluff to it, but it is more flat on one side. Grab that bronzer and just kind of like start flicking it, feathering into where we did our contouring. A little bit more on the cheekbone though, because bronzer, as it says, makes you look bronzed like where the sun has hit you. So by doing it on the higher planes of the face, like where the sun would naturally hit, you look more natural. A lot of people like to do the 3. You can do the 3, but you have to be more conscientious about the placement. I'm going to do a little bit on the jaw just to define. There we go. Now here's my trick for the bronzer to make it look really good. Do your lip, just a little bit right there, and then do your nose. Now I like to do my nose right above the button. It makes the button pop more. It makes it look like you got sun. There you go. See? Super cute. Because we already did the highlight there, it looks very soft. Next we're going to do blush. For that, I'm actually not going to use this palette. I'm going to use the Cheek Pop in Ginger Pop. This is my favorite because it's like an orangey, pinky, sort of like neutral blush. I like it because it has a nice soft sheen to it, but no glitter. So we're going to put that here. And for blush, I like to use it from the outside in because I feel like it adds more structure to the face. See that? Oh yeah. Oh, I love blush. And then again, same thing on this side. And we're doing like a circular motion like this, underneath, on the cheekbone, up. We want to bring that. And then I like to take whatever's left on the brush, notice that a lot, and then put a little bit on there. Again, making all the colors look like they belong, and I do a little bit on the bottom of the nose. That adds a natural blush without it being too intense. There's that. And then I'm going to take my powder brush, the same one we did before, with nothing on it, and we're just going to do circular motions to blend everything together. This is a step a lot of people skip, and I don't know why, because it really just makes the face look very finished. Alright. See how flowy my skin is looking? And it's the foundation more than anything. Now we're going to use that soft diffusing powder that I was telling you about. Oh, shoot. This one here. It's called the Shimmer and Glow in here. It's called the Uplighting Powder. I'm going to use this brush. It's the same brush we used to set under the eye. We're going to use that. And we're going to put this right on the apples of the cheek here. And then we're going to back. And we're going to put it over where the blush is a little bit, just a little bit, to help diffuse and soften. And then we're going to do the same thing with the forehead, right in the middle. And up a little bit, and then down the nose. And then we're going to do right a little bit with the lips, there. And then like kind of connecting these guys. There we go. That adds soft luminescence to the skin. And then again, take a powder brush. You can skip the first powder brush marking if you want. I like to blend my blush at first though. Yeah, that works. Then from there, we're going to go back in with this Stay Bright. This is my favorite thing, I swear. And we're going to highlight. For that, I need my highlighting brush. Just here. And then we're going to grab it there, and then we're going to put it right on the bone. Now, if you follow your cheekbone, you'll notice the bone is here. There's a shallow underneath there. That's where you put your bronzer. Right on the top is where you put the blush. Highlight is like frosting on the cake. It goes right on top. And by putting it right on that where that bone is, it pops from every angle. Because that's the most point of like reflex. And again, blending it out. So for lips, I'm going to keep it kind of simple. I'm just doing like a pinky sort of neutral lip liner and a neutral lipstick. This is Canoodle, and then this is Velvet Rose by Clinique. Oh shoot, don't drop things. I'm going to do the lip liner first, and I'm going to do a little bit on the edge here. See how there's that natural like shadow? There's defining that. And then bring it all the way up into the corner. Same on the other side. inside the corner of the lip. You don't want to go outside. See what I mean? There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing on the top. I like to make a crisscross on the front to really give it that good fullness. And then if my lip's uneven, I do this one a little bit fuller. This one's already a little fuller. So we're going to do this first. Right on that line. And then this one, a little bit over. So keeping the same kind of motion, that rounding out and then going in the corner. And that way they look a little bit more even, looking straight on. And now that I've got the lip liner on, now we're going to fill it in with the lipstick. Here. In the middle. Again, crisscross. I know I'm doing a very technical way of blending where you just rub your lips together. You know when you're a kid and you make weird noises with your mouth? Do that. Okay. Now that we're all nice and blended, I am going to put a little bit of a gloss on top of this just to add a little shine. No, I'm not. I changed my mind. But see how it's a very neutral look? Even though my eyes are very orange, this is very cool and pink, but doesn't look too unnatural. That's kind of good. So this is the finished look here. I've got brows, eyes, mascara. Oh, I almost forgot. We're going to take that off. So for that, we're going to take our spoolie again. If I can find it. Aha, here it is. Take our spoolie and just stretch it away. Stretch, stretch, stretch. There we go. Now, if you really want, you can go back in with that same brush you did and redefine the color. I find sometimes it helps, sometimes it's not necessary. But there you go. We are totally finished. This is the finished look. It's very everyday, very wearable. You have some color, but it's not a bright color. The brows look very natural. I'm not doing crazy carved out brows. I feel like that trend is very nightlife. It doesn't always look good every day. So this is kind of what I would do for a daily look. My skin is soft and glowing. My bronzer and contour is very natural. Blush is a nice natural blush that goes with the eyes, but it's not drawing a lot of focus. That's what I like to look for in a makeup look. If you guys like this, be sure to check back. I'm probably going to be doing some other ones. I did do full face Clinique today. I think that's what I'm going to do is a full face drugstore brand. I'm taking Wet n Wild, because I have a lot of Wet n Wild too.